What rhythms would you say describe the feeling of jumping up and down on a trampoline?
Quarter notes.
Wait, can I look up somebody jumping on a trampoline? How long are they jumping? How are they jumping? This is all very important.
Is it a child jumping on a trampoline?
Yeah, how big is the
trampoline?
Yeah, quarter notes.
You guys are now reacting to the 7-member girl group Billlie and their pre-released Trampoline, released ahead of their 2024 EP called Appendix
Boing.
of
Boing.
All We
Boing.
Have Lost. Boing.
Boing.
Boing. Did you like the trampoline?
Yeah, he's on a trampoline.
Yeah, he's on a trampoline. Yeah, totally. The lyrics convey a sense of freedom and release as the singers escape from worries by imagining themselves jumping on a trampoline and floating in a weightless, carefree world.
So jump, trampoline, fly to where you want to be.
This act of leaping symbolizes rising above life's problems and embracing endless possibilities. With each jump, they feel lighter, shedding fears and gaining a fresh perspective on life.
Man, I really need a trampoline right now then.
Boing. The song is composed by Seesaw, Royal Dive, and Lemon.
2, 1, go.
Whoa.
They jump.
Nothing happened yet. You just went, whoa.
When I heard a major 7th, I was like, is this the Mystic Story intro?
It's very gooey.
Oh, a shuffle would have been a good answer, actually.
They're actually jumping on. Yeah, they're actually jumping. Lethal face card though. Oh my god.
That hi-hat's super clean.
I'm just hearing snaps.
Oh yeah. I think it's a hi-hat, a snap, and a hat.
It's kind of like you're floating in space. There's no bass.
I love the vintage feel of this music video too. It's really cool.
They're just looking like they're having so much fun.
Great texture change.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty.
That was just fun.
I like how wide panned the high parts of the instrumental are there.
I like how the first like minute is just them jumping. It's just and so many people jumping.
Oh, a little chromaticism.
I like that lower flavor.
That's cute. That's actually it's different. It's interesting.
Huh. Minor scale up.
Very groovy.
Oh, is that some like trumpet
Little brass.
samples in there?
It's very fun.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh boy.
That was awesome.
Nice.
Pardon?
I love the electro hop feel. That's kind of where it's at.
The raps are very like subtle and
Yeah.
very like
They fit.
fitted in really well.
Thank you, Billie.
This section is really nice contrast with all these flowy,
Yeah.
reverby moments.
Yeah, not much bass.
No percussion except for the...
A nice little chromatic, little piano licks kind of over top. Nice texture.
Yes. I feel like every time the bass comes in, it's like when you finally get a rhythm on the trampoline, you know like when you're gonna bounce. I like trampoline is like into the low register. It
I
feels
like the
drum.
little piano brass accents in the back.
Just like a trampoline. It's very fun.
They're matching the vibe pretty well.
They are.
Oh, they never resolved that.
So jazzy, so like carefree.
Scatting! Got some walking bass too.
Octave jumps.
Octaves!
Triple that.
Looks like a jazz feel or something.
Yeah.
That's so goofy, just one person floating.
That's
Just
fun.
imagining a party like that. All of your friends are sitting there and you're the only one jumping.
Whoa, they're almost doing like a 12/8 Afro-Cuban rhythm in the piano.
Brassy sense. Sort of taking the role the keyboard was taking before. Wow. Double outro.
Bass is trampolining too.
The bassist is going off.
Going crazy.
Okay, triple outro.
Quadruple outro.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh, what is that? Was that a stopped horn?
Of course it doesn't end on the one.
I didn't want it to end.
Nice.
Oh, that was so fun. I like that.
You were vibing. You didn't want the vibe to end.
I liked it. It was
I
really
wanted
fun.
the vibe to continue.
I just want to be on a trampoline for like hours. That was great.
I know.
That was lovely. I very much enjoyed
that. Was such
that
a good
track.
vibe. I would listen to that.
Yeah,
like,
that's going on the November playlist.
Very good, very good. I feel like every time I listen to a Billlie song, there's so many interesting moments all at once. It's not your typical pop song. Also, it's 3 minutes and 22 seconds.
We thank Billlie and Jungsu for not doing a 2-minute long song.
Yes.
We got a very full 3-minute 30-something.
Yeah, well, I mean, the song did end at 3:23, but
3:20.
it's still like solidly over 3 minutes.
That was fun.
You thought it was fun?
That was fun.
Why it fun?
Oh, I like the music video for starters. I mean, that's just like fun to just have like just people recording you jumping on a trampoline.
You felt the joy.
Yeah.
I really like the song. I don't know. Sometimes it's like it's hard for me to find music or like listen to music and say like this is like almost mind blowing. You know what I mean? And I feel like this piece has a lot of elements and stuff that like is so cool. I don't think it's mind blowing, but I think it actually has a lot of character to it.
It's not Neo Jack swing, but it's like electro swing. That's
Yes,
I think it's
I know what you're
more.
saying, yes.
But it has like the instrumental qualities and even like the groove.
Yeah.
Especially the walking bass and like the
Yes.
bridge. I think
Yeah,
was
yeah.
especially clear. I think even the rhythms even. It felt like that there were improvisers performing on this track because you can hear like the bassist and the whoever was playing synth and stuff. So.
I would love this as an instrumental. Funky, chill, great sounds, jammin'.
That was satisfying to listen to. This is like totally the kind of music that I love to play in this setting, and I thought the song was a great choice to do this arrangement for, you know?
Yay!
Good choice.
I felt this definitely had the sound of innocence of childhood, I could imagine, with like the chromaticism and little funky brass bits, like the freedom of childhood mindset and just like jumping on the trampoline. It feels very free, feels very untethered. Yeah.
It never went like to like a super intense dynamic. So I just enjoy how it was kind of like at that mid-range like mezzo dynamic the whole time. I mean, like obviously there was a lot of like building and layering that happened in the instrumentation. So it was cool, like kind of like getting that rhythm of like the jumping and then like just kind of like getting that whole vibe set. It wasn't something where it's like, we're jumping, you know, it's like, oh, we're
Jumping and clapping, we dropping.
like we're not jopping, we're just trampolining. Yeah.
I think I said right when it started that actually a good trampoline rhythm would be a shuffle, and that's pretty much.
Really? I honestly don't see that. I
'Cause
don't
it's
see
just
any
so
rhythm.
forward
Like,
moving.
I don't see any.
It's like a bouncier feel.
Because it's like
right?
instead of like a straight rhythm, you have each note is kind of like there. A shuffle, you have to let it bounce.
I guess. If
You have to let it bounce a little bit. That's kind of how I feel.
Really
like,
pushing
in my head.
reaching for it.
Was there one specific instrumental that you felt your ears pulled to the most?
I think the piano stood out to me because it was kind of like a glittery, sparkly texture where everything else was a little bit more like sustained.
Yeah, the Afro-Cuban like bell pattern goes bum 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 bum. The like basically 90% of it is the Afro-Cuban bell pattern. It's just the bell pattern loops, but they're adding an extra like eighth note at the end. So dum 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 to make it fit the 4/4.
Juicy instrumental. I think there was a lot of like reflection of the trampoline concept in aspects of the music too, like the bass going you, and then they had this part where they were doing like octave, like G's, do 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 do, up down.
Right, and in the chorus, the melody is like jump on trampoline, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So we got a little, just like slow-mo, trampolining melodically.
Such a carefree vibe. Like it gets you in such a groove.
The slight swing,
Yeah.
bottom, and then all the like lower neighbors give me that like sassy, I don't care vibe. Like, yeah, got it. Yeah.
I was only listening to those keys the entire time.
because it happened the entire song. Even like when the keys were out, there was another instrument doing it. Like there was like a little brass thing, a little brassy sound, and it wasn't doing the exact same rhythm, but it was still hitting those hits.
Is that stopped horn?
Yeah, the
So the horn sounds really warm and beautiful, open. Stopped horn is maybe the exact opposite of that.
I feel like it's like muted trumpet, like cut mute.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Harmon.
The sizzling. The Harmon.
Harmon sounds like. I'm not a trumpet player, but
I'm
it's
not a
like
trumpet player. I don't know
because there's the
things.
hats. That's one where you go wah wah. There's plungers. That's wah wah.
Right.
Like the hats.
Oh,
are,
I didn't know there was a.
Yeah, there's like it's literally like a
wah,
bowler
wah,
hat.
and a
There's
wah,
a hat,
wah.
and then the plunger. The plunger you can also use to have that like muted sound
They
too.
have so many fun things. We don't have any things that do that.
It's not Harmon because Harmon's a bit more like grating and brassy, but it sounds like it sounds
I
like
don't know. It
stopped
sounded
horn.
pretty grating and brassy to me.
Was there any particular standout moment in the instrumental or vocals for you?
Ooh, the end of the chorus, when they go ba, 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 it's kind of like spoken at the same time. I just thought that was like super interesting how they like kind of knew how to sing it such that you knew like melodically where they're going. But it's still like playful in that way. Like the inflection that they had with it was super playful.
The top line was busy. The top line was very interesting.
Good on them.
I love the control they have over that chromatic line.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's funky. It's energetic. A couple times there's rapping in there. I was like, oh, it feels so natural. I mean, the first rapping I didn't even notice. It was like the second one where I was like, oh, hey, there's rapping
At
there.
one point you said, oh, that rapping part was cool. And I said, they were rapping? I thought they were just having fun and singing.
It felt so natural, yeah.
It really blended in really well,
did.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Is this something that you guys enjoy in music when it doesn't sound like it goes into a different sound world for the rap?
Sometimes I like it when it's known that this is the rap part. But the blending of it, I think, makes this, it doesn't interrupt the fun. Like, because if we're supposed to be constantly kind of flowing on this trampoline, I don't want the trampoline to stop bouncing for a second, then it starts again. It just kind of flows into each other. I think for this song, it blends. I like the blend.
I think the rapping should fit and serve the music. I don't think the music should shift and morph to fit the rapping.
For sure.
So that's how I would maybe put it. So in this case, they're rapping over this beat in this instrumental in a way that I think fits the style really well. And it's not like they're adding like some crazy like 808 trap beat in there to like match something that would be in a traditional rap style, you know, like we do here in some other songs.
Claire, you mentioned that like with Billie stuff, there's like always like a lot going on.
Yeah.
When you guys were listening to this, what do you feel drawn to listening to the most?
Knowing how many layers they put in. I think first thing that caught my attention a little bit was, I mean, before the vocals, right? Was it the bass line? It's like a little bit like wonky and like that. And then afterwards it's the vocal layering as well. And then they really like chromaticism, don't they? Somewhere they have like higher vocals backing it up. It was just like, oh, it's very Billie. They love doing, they have a little bit of something everywhere and like a little spicy, not your typical just chords.
All of the little cool vocal things that are going on in the verses here, all the little production techniques, all the harmonies, are so smooth. They're done really well. That's a big thing I'm noticing with this group so far, just from this song, is that there isn't a lot of jarring stuff going on. They're riding this wave and they're kind of doing that one thing like really well. I really like the second verse.
I hate the feeling when I fall. You hear that? Now here we go.
They're like all smiling, jumping off the trampoline. And the lyrics and the melody itself kind of felt not too happy in my ears.
It's more of like a rounder sound. I'd say it's kind of dark a little bit. Like not something that you would have in like a happy song about overcoming things. It is a little minory.
Well, like it's a minor chord progression while they're talking about like trying to get away to escape.
Yeah, I think it matters. It probably matters more with the text paying in a way than it does like any actual. I feel like any like musical significance in a way.
I think they're portraying the life itself, how there's like ups and downs. I think in the beginning there's not a lot of like background instrumentation in the background. It's just like vocal with some like bass beats, emphasizing their lyrics a little more.
I'll speak Korean. So like if I don't listen to the lyrics, I just hear like the only things I know are jump on trampoline. You can't directly tell it's a hopeful song from just by hearing the music, but like the lyrics are saying like, oh, no trouble, like life is, we can keep jumping and like our worries will go away.
And it kept it very light too. I mean, when you want to escape from life's troubles, you don't want any big heavy thing coming in there. It didn't feel like that. It felt very light, very dancey, very floaty.
On a broader sense, yeah, I really like the whole message about, yeah, you're jumping on the trampoline. Every time you jump up, it's like, yeah, you said something about it's like you're reaching more for like things
you feel
in life.
lighter.
You feel
every
lighter.
single time.
Yeah. And you can really feel that here. But I think it's interesting. It's like the song isn't like, it's not up and down like a trampoline, but it's riding this wave of just the enjoyment and the optimism you feel on that.
For sure.
I really like that.
So how did we feel about that bridge section where we got a little scatting in there?
Oh yeah, that freaking happened. It was that and walking. The song is kind of floaty. I feel like it's kind of just those punches. But then when you see like that bass part, it's more active. It's more of like a dramatic thing. The walking bass thing, well, I mean, it was doing it, I think, more just to match with the scatting, which I kind of saw as like maybe just like so overcome with joy in a way.
But yeah, the scatting was very nice. Yeah, it was very well done.
Very tasteful.
Very tasteful. Yeah, not too much. I think it fits the that section, the style of that section very well.
Yeah. Because she starts off with just like kind of humming along, kind of grooving it, and then she does like this da 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 da, and I think she could have just gone like da do da
yeah, play with the rhythm.
Like she did not have to like kind of try to develop it melodically. I think to make a stronger rhythmic statement would be more effective. I understand doing the octave displacement to kind of give a trampoline bouncy moment, but then when you go into like the actual like written, like the chorus, it sounds so much lighter, sounds so much freer, which I feel like is more text painting.
Yeah, I know this is like a very serious critique of just basically like a fun session that they did, but it was interesting to think about why it didn't work for us.
Because when you have that, like I think this is like the first time I've heard like a K-pop artist like scat, and that was so interesting to me. This kind of music is like, especially when it goes into like a double time swing, I thought that was super interesting. Especially when you have like 4 people, I was like, man, what are they gonna do with this? And they had like maybe like 10 seconds of like and it's like, oh, interesting. And I want to see how they could have gone in a different direction.
Yeah. Let me tell you why I like this part the most.
Tell me.
So all the synths, all the production kind of takes a back seat, and it's very skeletal. You just hear like the beat and people just kind of humming like, You ever have that moment where like you're having so much fun, but anybody else who's watching you probably is like, what are they doing? It felt like we kind of went back a little bit and we're just watching them just have fun. But in their mind, it goes back to that chorus, the big party that's going on. It felt like that was like a perfect bridge right there. Yeah. It's like it really just kind of zoomed out. So like this is what's really going on. They're just kind of humming and having fun. But in their head, they're going, we're jumping on trampolines, having fun.
Is that a Microsoft error?
No, you're not doing this.
It sounded like that. Tchaikovsky.
Oh. Yeah, I like the major melody over the
with the minor 6. When I heard that, I was just thinking it was gonna be just like the lightest Mystic story.